I want to address something like often get comments of people who are very extremely rigid minded. Um, the things that I talk about when I make blanket statements, um, I'm not saying there's not exceptions to every rule. Um, for example, I think I've gotten a comment today about um, atheists um, that Christians, some Christians are. He said the majority of Christians are evolutionists. Well, that's not true. Maybe Catholics. Um, but then the question would be, really, are Catholics or Christians? That's a hard question. I believe that there are some true Christians in Catholicism, but they do tend to veer off from Christianity. That's a slippery slope, and I don't want to say like, oh, so, I would like to say that Christianity is an individual religion where um, you individually will be judged, not um, based on the religion. And there is a lot of people who will are practicing Christianity correct and for the correct reasons, and there are a lot of people who are not. So it's a journey, and when I paint these, so getting back to what I'm saying is, I'm talking about the philosophies themselves and not the individuals and not the exceptions to the rules and where the philosophies specifically lead to. I'm going to say something from like Jesse Lee Peterson says, not all, not all, not all, not all, but most. And what atheists typically do, well, I wouldn't say atheists specifically, but there's a certain class of people that are looking for the exception and the ha that proves the fact. It's almost like whataboutism. What I like to call like whataboutism. It's well, I found this rare, obscure thing, so there prove this rule. This rule. It's the same conversation that you have when about. I just had a conversation the other day about. I said that sexual dimorphism and they're like intersex proves that, which is still hilarious. Intersex proves that humans are not sexual dimorphic species. It's ridiculous. You're trying to find exceptions to the rule to prove the rule, and I want to like when I'm talking about these things, I'm talking about big ideas, big philosophies. In general, people are looking for deeper meaning in things. So they're not really satisfied with this materialistic lifestyle that they have. So they search for deeper meanings, finding causes and things like that. Now, the problem really is that a lot of these causes are destructive, whether it's race divisions or, race supremacists like Black Lives Matter or whatever, or another supremacy like feminism is another supremacy group under the name of equality, of course. And they don't accept the idea that people are just different and have different results, and they don't accept that people make different choices, and the different choices results in different results. Ultimately, they want to blame everything on discrimination. This is a terrible philosophy. And really, when I say this, and I'll try to say it in a spiritual way, how this all relates is that the Bible doesn't say anything about people being equal. The word racism is not found in the Bible. The word sexism is not found in the Bible. The Bible does talk about giving honor to the weaker vessel. So, in general, not all, but most women want to feel secure. I mean, most women are looking for security, and that's why typically they vote Democrat, because they think that the government can provide security. So instead of marrying the husband, they marry the government. And because it's made marriage so easy to get up and leave with the welfare state, that's why marriage is in such decline, because it's just so easy to leave. It's so easy to break up. No fault marriage. It's really disgusting. So I want to just address that. Like, the idea is that I'm trying to talk about philosophy and where things head to, not talk about specific individual exceptions to rule. There's always going to be one or two exceptions. It's like the intersex. How many fractions of millions of people are intersexual? Like, oh yes, hermaphrodites have always been around, but like, it's been such a rare thing. I mean, if they were, then the species wouldn't continue, right? And it's when I say these things, like, for example, when I was saying that if you would think that evolutionists would be pro-life, that's because you would think that these people, atheists or evolutionists or whatever, it's all kind of the same basket. You would think that they would be pro-life because, essentially the development of the species, but they really want to use this idea that atheism is not believing in anything, so I have no responsibility for anything. Therefore, I can do whatever I want and not be a part of society, and therefore it makes me a moral person. It's a really cop-out, because, again, I keep on pointing to, if you really believed in the atheism being the good for humanity, then why don't you live in an atheist country? Well, atheist countries are always from the left, and specifically communist. They abandoned a religion for the greater good. They're hand in hand. It's really strange that, like, I had to point these things out. And I love, like, how I get, like, all these comments from people who just, I don't even know. One guy went on and on and on. I know he's a troll. I shouldn't have said anything, but at one point he said that he was from the former Soviet Union, and then so he knows about communism, and then he changed the story that I wasn't from Russia. Like, it's like I don't really understand you. Like I don't get you. It's like, are we having a conversation? Are you just trying to find, like, an exception to, like, whatever? And then they're like, it's really hilarious, because they're like, I demand you show evidence. Well, I can point you to books on philosophies and reasoning. But, books and ideas are not quotes. So when I say that is that when it's a way of thinking rather than finding verse by verse, paragraph by paragraph, aha. So I want you to think bigger. Open your mind. I want you to give you some critical thinking skills. So I just want to just have that conversation and kind of see where I'm going with this. Please like, subscribe, care, continue to pray, and continue to read the Bible, and you certainly will be. Christ will find you. Actually, have a good day.